There we go. Good morning. I'm Kim Barnes. I'm the Marketing Director with the BC Wine Institute. Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to join us this morning for our virtual BC Liquor Stores and Save on Foods Wine and Grocery Town Hall Marketing Update. We are thrilled to have Connie Hugh, the Director of Marketing Retail Services, and Stephen Shadell, the Category Manager, Retail Services Merchandising, on behalf of the BC Liquor Stores with us this morning to provide us with the marketing update. And later we'll have Steve Moriarty, the marketing person for Save on Foods, joining us. 2020 has been an interesting year so far, and as our BC wine industry has been navigating through the hurdles, more than ever an understanding of the importance of our retail partners has come to the forefront, and the need for a collaborative effort to keep our industry growing strong. Today's town hall provides an opportunity for the BC Wine Institute, along with our retail partners, the BC Liquor Stores and Save on Foods, to update our members on the collective marketing efforts we have been implementing to support the BC VQA category as a whole. It's going to bring our presentation up. The first half of today's town hall will cover a BC Liquor Store marketing update. Please feel free to add your comments and questions as we move through this morning's town hall. Following the BC Liquor Store presentation, we will take time to have Connie and Stephen answer any questions as time allows. Following today's town hall, a recording will be made available along with answers to any questions we were unable to get to due to our timeline. Back in 2019, the BCWI and BCLS marketing teams met to discuss, brainstorm, and plan how best to work together towards the celebration of the 30th anniversary of BC VQA. Working together, we identified key months and tools that could be used to amplify this special anniversary for our BC wine industry. Taste Magazine provided a strong platform to tell our story and deliver relevant calls to action. A collection of articles, advertisements, and features were unified with 30th anniversary logo integrated throughout the magazine. Ads supported by both the BC Wine Institute and the BC Liquor Stores were included, along with BCLS commissioned articles with support by the BCWI, with sourcing photos and providing information as requested. BC Liquor Stores worked with the BC wineries, requesting their creative material to include the 30th anniversary logo. This provided a cohesive look and feel throughout Taste Magazine and the in-store promotional materials. As we moved into May, the inception of the Wine Enthusiast Program was introduced to promote an opportunity for smaller lot BC wines to be featured in key BC liquor stores. This program was later renamed Boutique Wines from BC and had 37 wines included in the program throughout May, June, and July. The BCLS promotion and support of this program included end-aisle displays, floor stacks, specialized POS, and a feature page on the BC Liquor Store website. And Connie will touch on this a little later. The BC Wine Institute supported this program with several initiatives, including At Home with Meijung Pack, Speed Blind Wine Tasting with BC-based sommeliers. Meijung Pack's analytics alone show over 80,000 views and impressions, with 2,600 engagements, with an estimated media value of over $80,000. The BCWI social media support in May alone saw over 300,000 consumers reached. And a combined June and July resulted in just under an additional 400,000 consumers reached. Participating wineries were encouraged to cross-promote on their social channels to leverage additional reach. Here's a small sample of winery posts with metrics that were provided to us. Google AdWords had an impressive click-through rate of between 15% and 21%, which is well above the industry average. Tourism industry standards click-through rate on Google Ads is 6.76%. So we're very, very happy with this result. The BCWI's combined digital reach was just under 1 million consumers reached for this particular program. Resulting media support throughout the province included My Van City, Let's Get Virtual at Home with Meijun Pak, Wine Guy, 3 More Shades of BC Rosé, and Good Life Vancouver, Wine Wednesday Roundup. Kelowna Now provided local support in the Okanagan with an article, online ads, and a video feature with local country music singer and songwriter Tegan Gaze. The Boutique program was included in both the BCWI summer versions of the Vine newsletters. The Vine has over 22,000 subscribers with an average open rate of 38%, which exceeds the average winery opening rate of 25%. So again, very happy with this result. Following the success of the Boutique Wines of BC program, working with the BCLS, a new listing submission invitation was issued for a fall BCVQA permanent listing program. The results of this invitation are in the final stages, and we look forward to providing an update towards the end of the month. The next new listing submission invitation is planned for November 2020, so stay tuned and be sure to check out our member weekly newsletter that comes out on Thursdays. Here is a quick snapshot of some of the additional BCLS in-store support. With April, BC Wine Month Creatives was developed and implemented in BCLS stores throughout the province. Though the BCVQA room at the Cambie and 39th store grand opening ribbon cutting event was postponed due to the COVID-19 protocols, our marketing teams worked together to create visually impactful signage to represent BC wine country throughout the room. And as part of our Buy BC funded summer campaign, in-store POS was created with the BCLS integrating the thematics into their stores and throughout the province. With the launch of our new Wines of BC Explorer app, 55 BCLS stores have been uploaded into our system, listing the current boutique wines available in those stores as part of a trial program. We are monitoring these analytics and look forward to providing the BCLS presence, or looking forward to growing the BCLS presence on this platform. And each year we work with the BCLS to organize their in-region BCVQA Advocate Learning Week. With the current situation, we are working together to create a BCVQA Advocate experience virtually. Here is a quick draft overview of the itinerary we are working to develop with Stephen. And now it's my pleasure to invite Connie Hugh, the Director of Marketing Retail Sales with the BC Liquor Stores, to share with us, on behalf of her marketing team, an overview of the great marketing support they have been providing to the BCVQA category. Thank you, Connie.
Thank you, Kim. Let me see here. Just gonna work. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Well, hi everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me to this town hall. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about how, to everything that Kim said, we've been working really closely together with the BC Wine Institute and many of you to bring to life the products that you have to the BC liquor stores and how we can further develop that in our stores and with our customers. So I just wanted to give a quick overview for those that are not as familiar. We do have 197, but almost 98 locations across Canada very soon. And all of our profits from the BC liquor stores do contribute back to the government and all of the healthcare programs. So that's something we're very proud of and continue to drive. We are also a one-stop shop for all of our customers' needs when it comes to alcohol products. We do have a wide selection of spirits, wine, beers, cooler ciders. So that's kind of the way we position our stores to our customers. But we also have a very deep selection also particularly in the BCVQA products as well. We also have very knowledgeable product consultants all across our signature stores, and I'll speak to in the next slide, but we do have dedicated trained BCVQA advocates across all of our major, about 120 of our BCVQA designated stores throughout the province. And we are coming upon our 100th anniversary, which is very exciting. It's next year. So we'll be doing some events if we can, given COVID, but we are definitely planning a big splash for next year, and we're looking forward to working closely with all of you. And then, of course, commitment from us is to continue to support the local products and programs, working with the BCWI and different wineries and whatnot. So moving on to the next slide, really talks about just an overview of what we work on in terms of supporting the local products and BCVQA. So I'll go through in a little bit more detail about our advertising and marketing support. Of course, we have monthly in-store display every month in our designated BCVQA stores. And we, as Kim spoke to earlier, we have additional programs that go on in our stores to support your products. We also have developed quite a robust training program with kind of BCWI and working really collaboratively with them. So I think Stephen might speak to the VQA Learning Tour, or this year it's going to be virtual, but we'll still try to make it as fun and as exciting as possible. We also, on a yearly basis, send our advocates to Color and Bloom events to really make sure that they keep up with the education of your products. And as I spoke to earlier, we have dedicated advocates that really help drive that business in all of our main BCVQA stores. And of course, really working to partner with BCWI on all the above. So the next couple of slides, I'm just going to show you kind of some examples of our marketing support. So as I spoke to earlier, we do have monthly displays throughout the year, and that creative gets refreshed on a pretty regular basis. And we do have toolkits for merchandising displays that get sent out, along with which consists of our collateral and shelf talkers and all the tools that our stores need to support the programs. Besides just being included in the BCVQA displays, there's other promotional programs where there's a big presence of BCVQA products. So here's just kind of a sample of what we have going on in our stores. So there is a great presence of those products throughout other displays as well. In terms of advertising, currently we're not on social media, but that's going to change relatively soon, where we are really looking into that now and moving that forward. But we do, through a lot of our media partners, do a lot of social media advertising through them. So an example would be some of the Facebook carousel ads we did in July that to support the local BCVQA wines. So we've gotten a lot of success and a lot of impressions from that and coverage. We also have a large and very strong partnership with the Daily Hive, which is a very popular blog in Vancouver and in BC. So we do monthly features with them, but definitely during the key times like BCVQA's 30th anniversary, Buy Local Month, we do a lot of articles as well to support your products. And then each long weekend and leading up to the long weekends and Christmas, we do radio buys in key BC markets, and it's quite an extensive radio buy. And Stephen has been great in getting us lots of products for BC VQA for those. So they are featured wherever it makes sense for the on-sale products for the long weekend. For example, for BC Day, we featured a bunch of products there as well. So it has a big reach. It reaches about 4 million customers across BC. And then on a monthly basis, also, we do have digital ads rotating on different websites and mobile websites, different categories of websites like food and drink, news. So that is also where we have an opportunity, and we do feature BC VQA products. And then in terms of the ethnic market, we've been doing that a little bit more and more, knowing our customer base is very diverse. So we also have an opportunity there to feature many of the BC VQA products. And then newspapers, we did that a lot more pre-COVID. We've dialed back a little bit and converted a lot of that spend online just because of the nature of the situation right now. But we do that as well on a monthly basis. And then, of course, we have the Savvy Savings Flyer that we release every month on our website. That also includes pages of BC VQA products each month. Oh, 1 second. Here we go. So the website, we do have a pretty high traffic website, about 2.6 million page visits per month, and that seems to be increasing. So any kind of major products we do, or major campaigns or promotions we do, or displays with BCWI and BC VQA products, we feature them on the website. Mostly the presence is quite consistent every month. And then for Taste Magazine, we have 5 issues of that each year, and very consistently we have had articles and products featured in our magazine, and this is just kind of a few pages from a really substantial support for BC VQA products for the 30th anniversary. And then last but not least, Kim alluded to this as well. We have launched a designated room for BC VQA products in our flagship Cambion 39th location, which is our top location in BC. And you can kind of see here, the room is quite large. It's all dedicated to all sorts of BC VQA products. It's got a lot of imagery of the regions, the different regions, and it's quite an impressive room especially when you see it in person. So I hope that you all get the opportunity when you can travel a little bit more to come and visit our Cambion 39th location and take a look at that. So with that, I think that's it for my section, and I'm passing it on to Stephen.
Thanks, Connie. Stephen, I'm just going to pull your presentation up for you.
Should I turn my audio on?
Nope, you're good.
I'm good. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Hello, folks. Stephen Cheadle here, calling in from home. I'll give you a little update on what's going on this year. It's obviously a year that's different than any other, so lots of changes with our customers, our operations, and our definitely our day-to-day. So and BC liquor stores, and these are the logos you know. We've been selling BC wine since the get-go, and VQA since also the get-go, which was 1990. and every year we continue to sell more. So excited that in July this year, number one seller was rosé. So that's keeping in trend, and obviously what the consumer is looking for with local wine and color of wine as well. And of course, in August, we had a strong August, and we're up 10.5%. So selling more BC wine, meeting our customers' needs. Moving on, just some observations from this year, basically since April, or I guess since the outbreak in March. The consumers are responding differently when shopping BC liquor stores for beverage alcohol. I mean, a little bit they're responding differently because we changed our hours. We were closed on Sundays. You know, different protocol lining up, social distancing. We couldn't have product stacked up like normal in our stores. So obviously the consumer responds differently when things are just a little bit different in the store, in the aisle. Beer sales. This is a surprise for us in July, August. After years of decline, are actually seeing some decent positive sales. So that's an interesting little shift, perhaps economic, perhaps the investment in craft and flavors and a different style of beer than in the past is maybe responding to the consumer. Obviously, closer to everybody's heart about wine. Bag-in-a-box has also responded to the consumers because they're going to the stores less. They're sort of pantry loading, so they're going to pick up a larger format perhaps. So they're finding this is what works for them. Spirits are also seeing double-digit growth, so we've never seen that in all our years. So this is quite a trend. The consumer is finding maybe that bottle of spirits goes farther than meets their needs. Refreshment beverage continues its strong growth, and of course this year was a big entrance with White Claw into the marketplace. Wine has come back from flat to slightly negative sales of last year. Consumers are coming less. You know, all it takes is to drive down the street and you see a line up there and you go, oh, I might go somewhere else. So it's that simple with consumers who want ease of purchase, don't want to be out there too long, or very more careful of how they go out and about. Of course, though, their basket purchases are larger, so that means also has implications for supply logistics. Online sales boom, we see this everywhere, grocery and all that sort of thing. We've had to adapt a little bit. We've had some product releases, and we've worked to pre-order online ordering to meet those needs. So that's something we're going to work at and obviously go into the online business down the road. Our best BCBQA sales trend is actually in our C stores. So I said we had three classes of stores, A, B, and C. So C stores are really the ones with our smallest shelf space, smallest footprint outside of the metropolitan centers. And this really, I think, highlights what BC consumers are doing. They're staying home, stay vacation. They're going camping somewhere. They're going, taking that boat or that trailer or tent and staying at home. And so they're visiting our stores that are more in the hinterlands than they normally would. So that's where consumers are shopping, along with our B and C stores. New shelf additions have not done well, or the success would be diminished. So what I'm referring to here is that things that we started off last year in the fall or even this spring have had their success sort of stunted a little bit. The consumer is just sticking with what they know, shifting to other categories, format sizes, big brands, things that are on sale. They're just spending a little less time browsing, and they want to get in, they want to get out, and things that are on the end, things that they know are usually the first thing they're going to pick up. So observations, trends, this continues. It's a buyer's market. It'll be very hard to build brands in an era where the consumers are shifting to more well-known brands. Traditional wine marketing applies less. I believe this was just highlighted in winebusiness.com the other day. There's a whole bunch of attributes that what consumers find more valuable and what they find less valuable. And certain things about wine just apply less now these days. And plus with COVID, the consumer wants different benefits and features of their products. Grocery trends is direction to less selection. So I just saw this the other day, and it does make some sort of sense. to go too niche, you find yourself not being able to supply. So consumer behavior is looking for something a little more up their alley, not something that they'll take a chance on. So perhaps selection might go down in the future. Consumers want a deal. We've known this for years. Just as a highlight of what's going on in our stores, in August, it shows that wine was the one that was on sale the most. It took that much being on sale to make the numbers. So wine is basically 1-to-1. For every one bottle that's on sale, we have one bottle being sold at a regular price. With beer, it switches to 2 at regular price to 1 on sale. Same with refreshment beverage, and for spirits, it's every third bottle is regular price and only 1 is on sale. So distinctly, wine is having to distinguish itself by being on sale to get the consumer's attention. Ultimately, that it does depremiumize it somewhat there. BQA, of course, this is exciting. We've evolved to being a full-service category. I remember back to the 1990s, we featured at BC Wines. They're all white wines, and they're actually, if you remember, there's certain varietals that aren't really around so much anymore. Pinot Blanc, Okanagan Riesling, stuff like that. Anyways, shifted tremendously. We're a consumer favorite for red, white, rosé, sparkling, ice wine, premium. Also, obviously, certain brands are very big in this marketplace and meeting consumers' needs. I point this out as many of your competitor categories are only maybe red, or maybe only white, or maybe they're varietally dependent. New Zealand with Sauvignon Blanc, Argentina with Malbec. So this is what I mean. A full-service category is meeting more customers' needs, and that's a huge equity to be out there working with. As well, the category is in trend leads with consumers for varietals like Pinot Gris, Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, the blend of Cabernet Merlot, especially white and red blends. There's no other category out in our shelves today that offers white blends and has this kind of success. So another homegrown success story. And obviously, I think Pacific Northwest and BC, the wines are very successful as red blends. That's what sort of makes it a more complete wine. Uniquely, Merlot is an outlier as a varietal product in the wine world. In the 1990s, Merlot was extremely popular, but basically BC has kind of retreated to be the only one who's really carrying that flag for Merlot. So a bit of an outlier, but the flip side, now it's starting to become more of our signature grade, something unique about the category. Buying details. Well, we've recently bought a bunch of wines to assist local this year in the months of May, June, July, and August. So that was a good test, and it was very rewarding to see some wines connecting with their customers. Very much rosé wines seem to resonate, whether it's May or it's August. Obviously, rosé is a popular color these days. We'll continue using the internal BCWI invitation process. So the next one will be actually for November, and that should be going out shortly. I'm always open to buy monthly wines, which go on in Group 9 and 45 stores, so usually in the $14 to $23 range. Currently, I'm working on, December, and also as a highlight, we recently actually had a BCBQA invitation for wines to start in October. So just finishing up that will be about 2,000 wines, and this is the first invitation we've ever done with our local wines, so that's exciting. Ongoing listings are cluster sorted, meaning basically our stores only have so much space on the shelf. You want to have so many facings. You want this laid out correctly. You want to be in the right amount of stores. So that's what this process is about, and it's ongoing. So your performance, whether you're in a 15 to 20 or 20 to 25, $20 to $30 range, you have to meet a certain target, be on stock all the time. And this promotes or demotes your distribution or retention in the assortment. So ongoing as we meet consumers' needs. Also, I work with wineries a lot to buy $20 wines and over, $30, $40 wines. These are small lots, small allocations. They only maybe come on at one time a year. Especially we've seen over the last 10 years. Third quarter wines as we go into Christmas is when we see a lot of customers looking to buy up, to put some wines in their cellar, to do some gifting. And so that's a program I'm working on right now. how you can support the category. So, as indicated earlier, being on sale gets the consumer's attention. Price promotion, you can do this up to 5 times a year. In-store tasting, well, unfortunately that's on hold right for now, but of course in the past has been very useful. In-store value add, also I believe on hold for now until perhaps December. Shelf stockers you can apply for. Neckers, I think these are very valuable. This is rep applied, it's going to be a little more challenging, but rep applied at the winery. So the case comes to the store and it always has neckers on there with scores or other news or information to talk about your product. I believe these neckers really get the consumer's eye more so than all the bottles that don't have a necker. BCBQA, buy local thematics and BC liquor stores. We've done a number of these this year and we'll continue. And of course our Taste magazine, which we highlighted earlier, where there's 5 issues you can advertise it. There's also promotional displays, there's end groups, free stands, checkouts. Normally though these go to bigger brands, but you never know. Be amazed how many people don't apply in the month, a slow month like January or something. So you can always reach out and see what you can do. And lastly, for 16 years, the BC Liquor Stores has hosted an educational tour to BC wine country to educate our BCBQ advocates. So we've seen a lot of changes over those years. Unfortunately, this year there won't be any red jackets up in the vineyards. So sad about that, but we're going to work on a virtual tour. And but the exciting part of this, though, is it won't be just for our usual tour group of maybe 25 to 35 people. We're actually going to involve all the advocates and our product consultants. That way they get a refresher course, they get to catch up and keep it going. So we're working on this together with the BCWI to have a fun program. And if you need any information, you can contact me at steven.sheetal@bcliquorstores.com. Many thanks.
Thanks, Stephen and Connie. That was some great information. I'm looking forward to visiting the BCBQA room down on 39th and Cambie, and some great information there, Stephen, and can't believe it's been 16 years that the Red Jackets have been coming into BC wine country. As mentioned at the beginning of today's town hall, we welcome your questions and comments, and we're going to give Connie and Stephen the opportunity to address them. We will make this town hall recording available shortly following today's town hall, and we'll include questions and answers that we're unable to get to today. However, at this point, so unless you have some questions that you haven't typed in yet, we do only have one question. Stephen, I believe this is for you, and it's a question from Leanne. A question, if we have time. If BC Rosé was the biggest seller, how did it do against Provence Rosé? How did, which is typically the big seller in BCLS stores in June and July?
Okay, an excellent question. So, yeah, Provence Rosé has been very strong. So in the month of July, I indicated that BC Rosé was #1 for the category. Normally we've seen white, we've seen red, obviously, but this is a big shift. However, it wasn't #1 in our stores that month. There still was a Provence Rosé, at least one that was ahead. So we're still talking, to be #1 in a category, you're doing thousands of cases. So that's very impressive. And actually, to think about it, I mean, a lot of Provence Rosés, you know, they are expensive, but the ones that sell the most usually are a little less expensive. So BC Rosé is actually well positioned. Well, in this case, is well positioned and you know, a premium price. So just under 20, or I'm sorry, I guess more mid-teens, I should say. So that's being a high-quality product at a good price.
Great, thank you, Stephen. We have another question from Ray. He would like to know how many BCBQA wines do BCLS stores carry?
That's in totality, that's hard to say. We go to a C store, you know, some of them might only have shelf space for 10, 15, 20 sort of thing. And they get all the way to 39th and Cambie, where that special room, you know, we could put, you know, 250, 300 SKUs if you wanted. So it depends on the store.
Great, can't wait to visit that store. We have another question from Paul. Is there some kind of criteria that determines which wineries qualify as boutique wineries?
And I think you're responding to this. Is this like the boutique program, which used to be Enthusiast? I assume that's the question.
I think that would be a fair assumption, Stephen.
Okay. Well, really, kind of we work with the BCWI, so it's from their list that we work from. So it's those. It's not. Yeah. There's no little sign that says you're a boutique winery and the other people are not, but. That's the impression we want to give. We want to give people the feeling that it's craft, it's small, it's more artisanal, and also it's not so much where it comes from a little bit. It's more about it's the product itself. It's a smaller lot. It's something that should be treasured, should be searched out for, and enjoyed. Pick it up now, that sort of thing.
Exactly, and we work together on that criteria. And again, it's to give that opportunity for those small lot producers to be able to get some of those smaller wines, the exposure to our consumers. We have another question here from Mark. How does a winery get their wines into the stores? I'll let you answer that, Stephen, with our call outs. Yeah.
I believe he's talking about not distribution, but a listing. So you would apply through, say, what just happened, which was an invitation. That's one way. Another way is to reach out, and I may have a slot for you, whether it's a Christmas CD buy. If it's a small lot more premium wine, I may be buying wines for December, something like that. So wineries should always reach out. That's how I can find the best place and see what we can do. There you go.
Exactly, and just to reiterate that we will have another invitation that will be coming out for a November listing, that if you watch our weekly outreach that we have to our members, that will be coming out shortly. So that will be a great way to be considered for a listing. We have a question for Connie. Is any information available on what markets and stations you buy radio ads for on long weekend Christmas promotions?
I certainly could provide that information if anyone's interested. So I guess, Kim, maybe I can work through you who's interested and provide that information. It does change from long weekend to long weekend depending on the buy and who we're targeting and whatnot. But yeah, that can be provided.
Awesome. I'll follow up with you, Connie. So that is all of the questions that we have had submitted to this point. I'll just give us 1 minute, just in case there's some last ones coming in. We need some elevator music here, I think.
We need the BQA song.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right. So thanks again, Connie and Stephen, for taking the time this morning to share with our members. We truly appreciate our partnership and your support of the BCBQA category in your stores, and we look forward to continuing to work together and grow our impact. So thank you.
Okay, super thanks.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and for the second half of today's town hall, we will provide an overview of our marketing initiatives with Save On Foods. Once again, we will invite you to submit your comments and questions, and following our presentation, we will welcome Steve Moriarty with Save On Foods to join us and answer as many questions as possible. To do this, actually, I'm just going to take a moment. We're having some technical difficulties this morning with Steve being able to log in. So I'm just going to bring him up on our phone, and then we will have him available. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
I'm just going to ask you if you could mute in the background, and I'm going to walk through our presentation this morning on our collaborative marketing efforts, and then bring you on to answer any questions that we receive.
Good morning.
All right, so I'm just going to switch out our slide presentation.
Thank you.
All right, Save on Foods is an important partner with us. We have ongoing meetings to plan out marketing initiatives to support the growth of BCBQA in all their stores. Kicking off fiscal 2021, elaborate plans were created around the celebration of BCBQA's 30th anniversary in alignment with April BC Wine Month, including the largest in-store tasting program and promotion to date to take place throughout the month in all Save on Foods stores. As with all great plans, being flexible to respond to one's environment is crucial, and with the impact of COVID-19, plans were required to shift quickly. With the tasting room program no longer able to be implemented as part of BCBQA's anniversary in April BC Wine Month, POS and staff info cards were implemented into the stores to keep BCBQA top of mind with consumers, along with support local thematics. A Wine It Forward page was developed to provide and guide consumers with up-to-date information and messaging on how they could support local BCBQA. Save on Foods received prominent positioning as the largest selection provider of BCBQA wines. This page remained in the top 2 spots for the first 2 months of our COVID-19 response marketing initiatives, with over 7,500 page views and an average time of over 2 minutes on this page. The Vine newsletter featured Save on Foods promotions in our spring and the 2 summer editions. As mentioned earlier, this consumer tool is powerful with over 22,000 engaged subscribers and an average open rate of 38%, which again is above the industry average. To support the Save on Foods Local Growers Initiative, a Father's Day series of posters were created to showcase the human impact behind our local wine industry and the agricultural connection of grape to table. The posters were placed in multiple departments throughout each store. To further personalize the dads behind BC Wine, a series of questions were asked of each featured dad and correlated into a blog post on winebc.com, with the whole series supported with organic and paid posts on the Wines of British Columbia's social platforms, tagging Save on Foods. A series of general Save on Foods social media assets were developed with support local thematics to keep BCBQA top of mind with consumers in their shopping decision making. And to support Save on Foods as the largest selection of BCBQA wine for consumers as a one-stop shopping convenience. With the switch to virtual events and connections with consumers, 4 BCBQA themed consumer seminars were developed and executed under the SOM Selects program. Participating wines were promoted in Save on Food stores and made available for consumers to purchase in advance and taste live during the seminars, or the video recording was made available so ongoing purchases could be done. Again, this SOM Selects promotion was promoted on our social media platforms, tagging Save on Foods to leverage the lift. As mentioned earlier, though original elaborate Save on Foods in-store plans for April BC Wine months were required to shift, an assortment of POS creative was provided to all Save on Food stores, from ceiling hanging signs to backer cards and neck tags. And since its inception, Rosé Month has proved to be highly successful for Save on Foods in August of each year. The BCWI works with the Save on Foods marketing team to create in-store POS and social media assets to help elevate this promotion. The launching this October will be our Harvest campaign, which is still in final development. That will support the Save on Foods Thanksgiving focus and provide additional in-store POS and social media materials. Profiles of all the Save on Food stores have been uploaded to our Wines of BC Explorer app, along with all available wines in each store. App users will therefore have access to finding the BC wines they love and new ones to be explored at all Save On Food stores near them. And as part of our 30th BCVQA anniversary, we partnered with local food and lifestyle blogger Tori Weiser of Fresh Living to promote a 30 BCVQA bottle shopping spree contest in partnership with Save On Foods. The contest ran for 2 weeks and was cross-promoted on both Fresh Living and BCWI platforms with a combined reach of just under 300,000 consumers and 10,750 entries. So that takes us through a quick overview of some of the Save On Foods collaborative marketing initiatives we have worked together on, especially in this navigating through the COVID situation. I would like to invite Steve Moriarty, who is on the phone with us today, to answer any comments, any questions that we have received. And I'm just going to do a quick double check on here, or to make any comments if you like, Steve. We have no questions yet. We must be doing great marketing. So just give it a minute. All right, so thanks everyone. We truly appreciate our partnership with Save On Foods as it continues to grow and strengthen each year. Sorry, I thought I had a question pop up there. To strengthen each year. Looking forward to developing more key marketing initiatives with the Save On Foods team to grow and strengthen the BCVQA category in all of the stores. I would like to thank you, all of our members, who were able to join us this morning for this town hall. Thank you for your time, your questions, and the hard work we know that you are doing out there to support and keep our industry going well. And we look forward to being able to present on more ways that we're collaboratively working with these key retail chains, the BC liquor stores, and Save On Foods to strengthen the BCVQA category. Thank you. Hang on a second. We do have some questions coming in. Sorry. Morning, Steve. Is there any indication of when in-store tastings may recommence?
Good morning. That's a great question, and I hope I can be heard through this connection. We do have a re-entry program for our tasting program. We've tried it twice now, and we've run into some roadblocks. The good thing about that is every time you run into roadblocks, you learn how to be better prepared for the next time. And I am confident that sometime this fall we will reintroduce a type of tasting program in some way, shape. It probably will not resemble exactly what we've done in the past, but we are going to find a way to put BCVQA wine into our consumers' hands and in our stores, and in a safe way that that what I would say was passes on that opportunity that we've had before. So I'm confident that sometime this fall.
Thank you, Steve. We have another question. How was the introduction of non-VQA products affected overall sales?
I'm sorry, Kim kicked up.
Sorry. How was the introduction of non-VQA products has it affected overall sales?
Oh, that's a great question from both sides. And I'm pleased to say is that the introduction of BC, what we call cider and fruit wine and some alternative packaging has increased our sales. And at the same time, it's increased our VQA sales as well. We use a number of different analytics to measure how we're growing particular categories. And so far, since we've done this, all of our categories are up. In fact, compared to last year, ratio-wise, BC-VQA is continuing to grow. By adding the non-VQA components to our mix, all it's done is rounded out our shopping experience because our overall order size has gone up. We struggled, of course, with unit value or bottle value this year, and I think Stephen said it earlier in his presentation. Immediately when COVID introduced itself to the party, everybody retracted to old standbys. They went to historically what we would call old wines, wineries that have been around a long time, standbys, and notoriously of less value at the checkout. But we've seen that trend start to reverse itself now, and with the addition of the non-VQA wine, really it's helped us grow the overall consumer shop with us without impacting our VQA commitment at all.
Thanks, Steve. Sarah, I see you have a question here that I missed on did the campaign meet goals? Can you type in which campaign you are referencing? We have another question for you from Mark. Which is the best, this is for you, Steve, which is the best way to inform Save On Foods about new products, vintage changes, sellout, etc.?
Currently, the best way, the only way that we have in place is direct communication with Amanda, and we are actively, creating a new web access portal in the future that will give our wineries an opportunity to communicate, I would say, more efficiently about those particular changes. We're going through a bit of an evolution in Save On Foods with the number of wines that we have and the literal growth expansion this summer, this spring, with wines that are being presented to us and opportunities. And we're in this enviable position now that we have more wine selection and opportunities than we've ever had in our history. And we're seeing more opportunities for us to partner with more wineries. So it's a big problem, but it's a good problem but to work our way through this. And we do recognize that we have to come up with a much more efficient program or platform that allows the wineries to communicate vintage changes and new products and new listings to us. And but currently the only way that we have is a process through Amanda, which virtually everybody in our wine industry is familiar with.
Thank you. Steve, which wine varieties are the top sellers?
Varieties. Well, I'm not sure about global or national or even provincial components. I do know that in our business, we look at the category a number of different ways. We look at the growth percentage as it grows, and we also look at just the viable sales. Of course, red wine sales still a big chunk of our sales, but only barely outpacing the white wine category, and of course the rosé category nowhere near the same. But when we look at growth opportunities, they are completely reversed. So today, rosé still outpaces both in growth, white and red. White wines continue to grow faster than red wine. And if I were to take that and drop that down into the next subcategory, is blended white wines now are catching up to rosé growth. And I expect before the end of this fall that for the first time in our history, rosé won't be leading the growth in sales, and blended white wines will surpass them, followed by, and blended red wines are gathering a lot of momentum right now.
Thank you again,
Steve. I hope that answered the question.
I have a question from Allison. Would there be the possibility of including microbrew beers?
At this time, we don't have a license to sell anything other than 100% British Columbia wine product, and I'm not aware of a government initiative that would change the licensing for us to be able to do that. And but it's not something we even consider because we don't have a license to do that, and we haven't considered a license to do that. So we don't even consider
Okay, I have a question from Ray asking, what marketing promotion does the BCWI find the best? And great question, as we do a lot of different promotions in the market and using different channels. And our approach moving forward this fall, especially after navigating through the COVID and needing to pivot so many times, is we have our harvest campaign that's coming out that will have an overarching umbrella look and feel to it. And we will work with channels to be able to integrate the thematics that are going on and work with you to what's working best in your store to align, but allowing the voice in the market to be cohesive, and so that everything is working together so that we can elevate whether or not it is, well, of course, sales of BCVQ8 wine, but we want to leverage our social media metrics and engagement, as well as Google Analytics with visitation to our website as informative and an educational tool. So more and more, we're trying to integrate working collaboratively with all of the channels, restaurants, retail, the wineries, to be able to leverage all of that in a cohesive message so that our voice is much stronger and much louder in the market. And as I do have a follow-up from Sarah, which I believe, even though it's on the campaign, would be for you, Steve. She wants to know the rosé, for example. Did the overall did the collaborative campaign meet the targets and goals? I don't know if you have those metrics yet.
Absolutely, and rosé month, hot August night, so our rosé all day, every day for the month of August has been our theme now. For this is the third year that we've done this program where we put virtually all rosé wines on sale to some degree. We've prominently featured them in merchandising, and of course, in past years, we made sure that we tasted them in every tasting program in every store on a daily basis. This year, unfortunately, we didn't have the tasting process, which is just a tremendous concept. If I were to just kind of just summarize it quickly, sales were up this year over last year. We almost double digits. I think it was a 14% increase in sales. However, we had an almost 30% increase in unit sales. So we did sell a lot more, we'd call more entry-level type rosé wines this year. For us, that still tells us that the market and the consumer demand for rosés is growing and still is tremendous. Of course, we had this awesome month of August for weather this summer, which really helped. And on another scale is that we have top 25 every week and for the month. And generally, we're surprised to see more than one to three rosés get into our top 25 sales. This summer, of course, over the month, we had, I think it was 14 or 15 rosés all made it into the top 25 in sales on a weekly basis. So that was very encouraging for us to see that every year the rosé month that we've done has grown, and I would encourage every winery to take advantage of that going forward. We found just tremendous traction from it. So yes, huge success for us. Great.
Steve, from your perspective, we have a question here. What does Save on Food's best marketing promotion?
Well, that's like asking us which child I like the most, right?
I hear you.
We have to start off. I have to say, I would look at it from a business perspective. And April Wine Month, the conjunction that we do with the BCWI, hands down runaway is, I think we've done it a few years now. Mm-hmm. Every year it has grown exponentially. Of course, this year we took a baseball bat right to our knees right when COVID came along and kind of sucked all our energy away from us. However, we still managed to grow our business in that month by double digits. And at the same time, I think we did a fantastic job exposing the localness, that whole atmosphere of local to our consumer. And, we've only been in business for five years selling wine. We've been selling groceries for 106 years, but 5 years selling wine. So we got a long way to go to get our consumer to fully understand about our commitment is to 100% BC wine, especially BCVQA. Wine Institute, where it stretches across the province and reaches on a lot of our customers in a different fashion. Just our Runaway, hands down, our best promotion. I'd like to honorable mention this year would go to Father's Day. The packaging that Kim, you and your team put together for us this year with that showed fathers in the winery generated more social activity in our social media management process, where we record a lot of things, than anything else we as a company did this spring. And it absolutely came out of left field. We didn't expect it. We weren't prepared for it. But the fact that we recognized that it's the local dad, it's just a local farmer, he's just a regular guy helping survive with his family and providing employment, being a small business operator. That really generated a lot of action and activity in our social media platform just by the little things that we did in our stores. And of course, I already bragged about Rosé Month. So I would say, without a doubt, our April wine month is our runaway favorite. But Rosé is always near and dear to us. But this year, so next year, we'll have to talk about how we can exploit this Father's Day thing with fathers in the winery, and I guess after that we'll have to make sure we include Mother's Day in the winery as well.
Absolutely. Great to hear. We were thrilled to work with you on that, and I'm glad it had some extreme positive results. I have one more question here that's a combination from a couple of people that should help with answering it. What is the plan for cider going forward in Save-On stores? Do you plan to increase the number of locations stocking it?
Yes, today we've slowly rolled it out. We now have cider in every one of our 21 stores, and we have not a lot of plans to increase the amount of ciders that we have. I think this is a learning curve for us as well as our consumers. I don't expect a massive increase in the shelf allocations than what we've done. It's fairly limited. It's more of a kind of unique opportunity, and it's kind of a novelty at this time in our stores. I will see over the next year how that impacts the consumer shopping trend. At this time, the consumer has been very energetic and very, I would say, enthusiastic about us adding the cider component to our business. But what we're seeing today is cider is being purchased in addition to the wine. And first and foremost, we're in the wine business. If we can sell a little bit of cider to the consumer who wants something in addition to the wine, we look at that from that perspective as a win for the consumer. But yes, we have cider in all of our stores, and but I don't see us increasing our cider position anywhere near what we have done with wine.
Great. I have a question here on your staff in the stores. Is the wine selection team specifically trained in wine, or will it be in the future? Will they be in the future?
I think the question is our wine team in our department trained on wine? I'd like to think they are. Our commitment, one of the pillars of our business is the fact that we have a siloed wine team in the grocery store. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how the entire grocery store works, but you can generally work in any department, do anything. However, what we did is we siloed the wine department to be uniquely the same all the time, so that we could invest in our team members. And we are currently doing training sessions on a weekly basis in and out of our stores, ensuring that we're continually growing our wine knowledge and making sure that our wine team are as knowledgeable as possible. One of the things that we have, like everyone else does, is we have a significant turnover in our business, whether it's in a grocery store combined or just the wine department. So it's a continual process of ensuring that we are focused on BC wine. One of the great things is that our team doesn't have to learn any other kinds of wine. It's just British Columbia wine. That's all they have to focus on.
Great. I'm just going to give it a moment. There seems to be a slight delay in some of the questions coming in, Steve. That's all. I believe you've answered all of them. So I'm just going to give it just a few seconds here, just in case one more pops up. But again, thank you for taking the time. Our marketing team and the Save on Foods marketing team are working close together and continuing to grow that so that we're working in collaboration and supporting each other. So we look forward to being able to share a lot more of this and positive activities that are happening to support the category.
And I'd like to say one thing is that once again, Save on Foods was recognized provincially as in some awards process just recently about our recognition and support for local growers, local farmers, local producers, local manufacturers in British Columbia. And I think it's worth noting is that this year they added the wine component to the award, and we were recognized as, of course, that we support more than 180 wineries in British Columbia. And I think it's really easy for us to do because that's all we focus on. It's not like we have to trade somebody else off to focus on British Columbia. And as we go forward in our next 5 years in this business, we're hoping that we can drive the British Columbia wine perspective to a new level, because that's our business and that's our long-term model. It doesn't plan on changing, and we're excited that BC Wine and Save on Foods can grow the industry together, and we kind of simultaneously become more balanced in producing a bigger market share or slice of the pie for BC Wine.
Great, congratulations. Great note to end on. Again, there's no more questions, so I thank you all very much. Our presenters, Stephen and Connie from the BC Liquor Stores, and Steve from Save on Foods for joining us this morning. And as I mentioned earlier, thank you very much to our members for taking the time to join us this morning for our marketing update with these two very important retail channels to us. Have a great day. Bye.